So that was the plan. Can you guess if things went according to plan?
Gr8Full House.
Welcome back to the next part of our journey from infertile to full house, part 2. So there we were, about a year into our journey of trying, and Joe had dropped the bomb that he was just ready to move on to the next thing, which in his mind was adoption, and I was not. When I reflect back on our journey, the common theme is my plan and God's plans and how they aren't the same. So it was a continual process of me surrendering my plans and trusting in God's plans, trusting that His plans for us are good, trusting that His plans are actually going to be better than what I would plan on my own. And that was a process. It still is a process. I love planning, and I think my plans are really good. And God says, you know, I've got something better. I really do. So Joe had asked me to be praying about adoption, to see if indeed that was something that God was calling us to and stirring up in our hearts. And I agreed, reluctantly so. You know, I'm stubborn, and I really had my plans, and I wanted to stick to my plan. So this was probably, I think, 2011. We'd been married for 3 years and had been trying for a year. And over the course of the next year is when God really started doing a work in my heart about adoption. You know, when you hear about something, it feels like then you keep hearing about it again. Oh, I was just talking to somebody. Oh yeah, I just heard about that. Oh, I was just, God kept doing things like that with adoption, where it was it kept coming up. He kept bringing things into my life that were very clear signs that He was going, hey, listen to this, hey, to the point where I was like, okay, I can't ignore this. God wants me to look into this and to really, truly consider it. And so that's what I did over the next year. So from 2011 to 2012, we continued to be trying with no luck. And I continued to be pressing into adoption. And the strange thing that happened, which is not so strange because it was God's plan all along, is that my heart really started changing, and I really started getting excited about the idea of adoption and just the whole process and how it mirrors the gospel and how God the Father adopts us into His family. And I just started seeing all this beauty in it, and purpose and joy and grief and pain. It's complex, but I really started to see adoption in a new light, and I started to see myself in the picture. And I think it wasn't that I was against adoption by any means. I always thought adoption was great. I didn't see me in that story. Like I said, ever since I was a child, I saw myself as being pregnant and having a baby the natural way. And so for me, it was finding myself in this new identity, in this new story that was okay, God, I saw myself as this, but now you're asking me to be this. And so that was a process, and He took me through all of that over about a year's time. So by the time that I had come to the decision that I was ready, I was fired up, excited about starting the adoption process. And we had, can you believe it, a plan of how we were going to do that. We had found a local adoption agency here in Arizona. Our plan was to go through the necessary classes that they require and go through your home study process. And at some point in that process, then you go into their matchbook. So, adoption classes, home study, get in the matchbook, wait to be chosen, which again is a complete surrender. You have no idea once you're in that matchbook if you're gonna be chosen the next day, or if it's gonna be a year and nobody has chosen you yet. There's no guarantee. So the whole process was a lot of surrender and just trusting, okay, God, you're gonna bring us the right baby in the right time. We have to just trust you. So that was the plan. Can you guess if things went according to plan? So in May 2012, 4 years into our marriage, 2 years into our infertility journey, I announced to the world on our adoption blog that we had made the decision to adopt. And so in real time, I was sharing with friends, family, anyone who wanted to read about it. And more so it was just for myself, kind of like a journal of the emotions. And I was just so excited. I wasn't expecting my blog to be like read really by anybody. Like I said, it was more just like a journal, a diary for me. It was very therapeutic for me to be able to write things out as they were happening. But gosh, we had so much support and love. And you know, in 2012, 13 years ago, people sharing their lives online was not like it is now. You know, now there's, you know what's going on with everybody, everywhere, all the time. But back then it was a little bit more rare, and talking about things like infertility and loss and things like that were a little bit more difficult to come by. So people started sharing our vlog with others. And so, you know, I would have people reaching out to me that I didn't know that just were encouraged and were encouraging us. And it was really special to feel love and support in a time where we had felt really alone and isolated for a long time. So, August of 2012 was when our adoption classes were about to start, and I was ready to rock the process. I was ready to rock and roll. Continued to share things on our blog, and I will never forget the message that I received from someone that I didn't know personally that had come across our blog. And she sent me a Facebook message and said, "Stacy, I think I have a birth mom for you. You need to call me. Can I call you right now?" Waiting for the phone call, shaking. Get on the phone, and yes, she had somebody who wanted to place her baby with us. To be continued.
One last thing before we go. Go tell someone something that you're grateful for.